as we're waiting for Doc to come back, if you've got anything, any question that you'd want to ask, probably I think the best thing is you can just type in the chat, or even probably if the audio is not audible, you just type in again in the chat so that we make this discussion a bit interactive. Thank you so much. We thank you so much for joining. Over to you.
All right. Thank you very much. I think you can continue. So I was on third point, where I was talking about setting up a strategy or a business plan. Very important to plan. Very important to be clear about what you want to achieve. Very important to set out the what to be done and the how to do it. That's what this strategy will contain, what you want to do and how you want to do it. That's very important. Many a time people miss this very important step, and down the road, then challenges then start to come. Then you can't iterate backwards to be able to see what you're trying to achieve, or to be able to establish what you wanted to do and how you wanted to do it, or whether do you need to change or do you need to adjust. So a strategy and a business or a business plan is an outline of what you want to achieve and how you want to achieve it. And this is where you set goals and objectives and also measures of how you would have succeeded in meeting your objectives. I'll repeat that part. It's setting goals and objectives and making sure that you also set measures. Some call them key performance indicators of what will indicate that you have actually achieved an objective. Because if it's not clear, it means then it's left to chance. And that's what you want to avoid. So that your plan is foolproof. Then the fourth element becomes that of financial resources, because now you're wanting to set up a solution and generally you require resources. Let me say resources. Key to that, it's financial resources, which obviously becomes the issue of budget, or the issue of capital, or the issue of funding to the business. All those terms are in the same space, but meaning different things. But what's important is, as you can see, it now comes after you've set up a strategy and a business plan, after you've fully consummated the research to give you a basis for wanting to set up a business and a solution to provide. That's when you start to consider the resources, financial resources required. Very important. And this is where you then look at whether you're going to provide the financial resources yourself. That's another source. You can be the source of the financial resources you put in the business. And number two, you can be without resources, but perhaps you have others that can give you resources, financial resources, by way of offering you credit or that kind of thing. And those may be individuals or can be institutions. This is where sometimes other institutions like banks come in, institutions like microfinance institutions come in, or private equity institutions come in, or individuals that want to invest in your proposition of solving a particular issue or problem that you are trying to give solution to. Or it can be also a situation where it can be resources from inheritance. If you're a family and you're pursuing a particular business line and so forth, perhaps you're not doing by yourself, but doing it as a family. This is sometimes some space there where you can find resources for funding your business by way of injecting capital into it. And the financial resources, and I know, usually become the issue of question because many a time people then end here and don't continue to pursue their intention of bringing a solution. One way of dealing with it is, it's important to be able to understand your financial standing and your financial capacity and access. And what it may also mean, it also then measures where you can pitch your business. Where do you start? You don't want to start your business at a level where it stretches your resources and you're not able to pursue your intended business. So you can start where you can and phase your business. That can be a way of easing the requirements, the capital requirement of the business and so forth. Rome was never built in a day. You need to continue to improve and increase your business on the basis of the resources you have. And also, there's nothing that says when you have to do business, you have to do it alone. It's one of the challenges that we also have. Some people just want to pursue business on their own. Yes, you can sometimes, but sometimes you might not need to. You may need to also partner others that may also ease the financial pressures on you, and you're able to then pursue the business of your intention. Or you may contribute the idea, you may contribute the basis for putting up a solution, and maybe have others that can provide financial resources who may either be actively involved in the business or not thereof, and can put up structures that make sure that you can still pursue your business intentions. That's very important. It's an important mindset to be able to notice that you shouldn't then get to a point where you quickly say, I don't have resources, therefore I'll end here. But that you continue to find ways by which you can still pursue your interest, even if it starts in a place where perhaps you are less involved in terms of financial input, but involved in the whole process and the business development as it continues. Then the next aspect I'm going to mention is around your skill set. You need to make sure that you have appropriate skills to be able to provide solution, and you have the necessary competence. That may mean it may be you, or it may be the team that you build to be able to provide the solution. If you are not skilled and competent on providing a solution, then obviously those that are paying for that particular solution obviously will not find value in it, and won't pursue buying of your solution or your products. It's very important that you then are able to make sure that you have sufficient skill set, and you are able to have sufficient competence to develop a solution that addresses the problem, that addresses the opportunity, that addresses the question that you're trying to answer as we've built. Then the next aspect, you also need to make sure that you are networked and you also create partnerships. This is very important in business. It's very fundamental. How do you create networks? People that you have met are the first port of call. You can firstly start from the people you know from home, and they can be part of your network. Relatives can be part of your network, friends, that you have met along your life can be a part of your network. Colleagues that you have trained with or you have worked with before, or have done business with before, can be your network. And then some people that will just meet you, whom you have not known from before, are also important for your network. Yeah, you create partnerships with them. By partnerships, you need to set up appropriate partnerships. With certain people, you set up partnerships wherein you do business in a particular manner. With others, you do business in a particular manner. Some partnerships are on the basis of maybe them supplying you or you supplying them. Some partnerships are in the form of exchange of ideas. Some partnerships are in the form of putting financial resources into the business together as co-shareholders of a business. Some partnerships are about knowledge transfer. You share ideas and so forth. These partnerships, they create opportunities and they create collaboration, which is important and benefits your business pursuits. Then the next item is persistency in achieving your goals. Very important that you continue to be very persistent in achieving your goals, because you will meet challenges along the way, definitely. You will find other opportunities on the way, definitely. But it's your persistency in trying to achieve your intended goals on the basis of your strategy that we talked about earlier, or your business plan, to the right measure of the KPIs or the key performance indicators that we spoke of. Success in business often requires being patient, being persistent, and also making sure that opportunities that you grab and you run with them. You also need to be very resilient because you meet challenges, and also willing to learn. Very important. There's no one person who knows everything. So the more you also interact on the basis of your networks and partnerships, you can also learn from there and be able to make sure that your learning helps you to pursue your business pursuits. And also the B part of it, also be able to accept that sometimes you may fail. You may have set up goals and objectives in your plan, which you try the best you can, but fail to achieve. Let it not be the end of it, but a learning that you need to do it in another way and still find a solution to your intended goals that you have set for yourself, for your business. So failure should not pull us down, but failure should be a learning curve, a learning point. And then the next aspect is that of being able to then adapt your business and be able to scale it. So adapt your business as you continue to refine it, so that your solution becomes more an answer to your question, or continue to refine your solution such that you solve the problem much better, or continue to refine your solution such that you actually get the best and optimize the opportunities that are before you. Very important to adapt your business to that extent, and then also make sure that your business is scalable. Remember, you might have started where in your financial resources were not as much, and it was phase one, but then be able to phase two, wherein after maybe a cycle and you've made profits, you want to reinvest to be able to grow your business, or you want to add or invite other investors to invest in your business to grow it, or you want to expand your business beyond borders where you are, or in another manner. If your business is scalable, the better. Then there's growth that you can actually be able to pursue You need to evaluate the scalability of the opportunities you're pursuing so that you are able to determine the long-term nature of the growth potential and sustainability of the business that you're pursuing. And then perhaps lastly, I think you need to, across the whole spectrum, be managing risks. You need to be having a risk register, some say, or a risk framework that you follow, so that you identify risks that may arise and you mitigate those risks. By mitigation, it means trying to reduce the impact of the risks you have identified if they are negative to the business, or you eliminate if you can, or if you can't, you just try to neutralize if you can. So you need to deal with the risks than to ignore them, because they then, if ignored, materialize generally. And if they materialize, they eat into your business pursuit and you may fail, or they eat into your resources and you may fail, and so forth. Some of the risks that you need to watch out for are, for example, failure to plan well, failure to have appropriate funding for business, failure to get appropriate skills and competencies to be able to pursue your business in the manner you want, so that you provide solutions to the question or problem you're trying to solve, and failure to be innovative. So your solution is general and common, and people ask themselves, why should I pay for this? This is just common. To the extent it's innovative, the better it is, because it brings creativity and people would want to pay for that if it has value. I think that's what I'll say for the third group of those that are pursuing business. And I'm sure, of course, the fourth group is those that are in business. I'm sure for those, it's more for them perhaps to share their experiences as well on this platform, for others to benefit what they've done, what they've pursued, and has worked for them. I know we come from different jurisdictions and our challenges are different and our business pursuits are different, but some of the issues may be common from a principal point. So I think at this point in time, allow me to say, by considering all these factors, especially on the third group, of implementing a strategic approach to setting up yourself as an entrepreneur, a business which you pursue, will bring maximum success, as you take advantage of opportunities that are before you, and be able to make sure that you maximize on your success on a long-term basis. I think at this point, I would want to just summarize and say I spoke to those who are perhaps pursuing careers that if you pursue something that you love or something that you're passionate about, it's better, because you then are self-driven. Then number two, I spoke about those that are doing work, that we should try and work hard, have goals or plans, implement our goals and plans to be able to succeed within our work. Make sure that when we meet challenges, we're able to deal with those. And then lastly, that we are ambitious, making sure that we want to be better than we are. Then around those that are to pursue business, or that want to pursue business, that let's do research. Let's make sure that we are innovative in the problems we're trying to solve through our businesses. Let's make sure that we then set up strategy and implement it. Then let's pursue financial resourcing of the businesses. And let's make sure that we also have a sufficient and appropriate skill set and competencies to make sure that our solutions to business are appropriate and valuable to our potential customers or customers. Then let's make sure that we also network and partner others, so that we can also, in some instances, get help, or also make sure that we have a premise from which we can spring our business. And partnerships can come in different forms, and let's take advantage of those. Let's make sure that we persist in trying to achieve what we've set ourselves into our business plan or in our strategy, and make sure that our business is adaptable and scalable. Let's also make sure that we manage risks across as we do business. I think I'll end here. I know it took longer than I had planned, but hopefully it was helpful. Happy to then engage and also others to also contribute as well. Like I said, I don't think I have all the answers, but I'm sure we're able to help each other. I think I end up to you,
because we want the flavor.
Oh, wow. This was so an inspiring presentation from you, Doc. Thank you so much for this inspiring presentation. It was really thought-provoking. And I think without further ado, I'll allow people to ask any questions that they would need the speaker to just touch on. Just raise your hand.
Through you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you so much. You can go ahead.
I was trying to raise my hand, but somehow I'm failing. So if with your indulgence, I'll just go ahead and make my contribution or my question.
You can go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Mine is not exactly a question, but it's just to appreciate, number one, to appreciate Empower Connect for this powerful initiative. Thank you so much for bringing us together and for also inviting this important speaker to come and share with us. We would want to encourage that if we can have more of these. I found this presentation should I go ahead, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, so I was saying, number one, I need to thank you and your organization for planning such an important meeting as this, and for also bringing an esteemed speaker to come and have a conversation with us. And I think the Lord giving us life, we would want to request to have more of these meetings. I found this one very helpful. I found everything that he shared very, very helpful. But I need to also just appreciate two things. Number one, the idea of scaling the business. I think it's an idea that I had not really thought about, where you start at this level and as you grow it, you need to then plan to scale it to the next stage. I found that very, very helpful. I need to thank him for that. I need to just also ask a question on the note of finding the right set of skills to then provide a solution to the problem that the business is working around. Are there any strategies around getting the right hands, getting the right skills, the right skill set, the right people in order to provide a solution and to provide it in a better way? That would be my question. And thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Over to you, Doc.
Thank you very much, and thank you for thank you for the question. I think an understanding of what's required as a solution becomes the basis for which you can use to determine the skills that are required. An example, if you require somebody who does provide your solution or your product to the market, you're looking for selling skills, as an example, and that's what you then want to pursue. You need to be very clear about what you're trying to achieve, because clarity in itself does begin to give the first base for which you can then know what you require as this skill set. If you are not clear, it may mean that you might end up having skill set which are not necessarily what you require. I always say many a time, you have people that are just stationed in certain positions, but they are not skilled for what's required of them. If for example, you pursuing learning, and you want somebody who is able to train students how to answer questions, as an example, for perhaps training for exams. You couldn't want to get somebody who is just a teacher or just a lecturer or just a professor for the sake of, but to know that they are able to dispense with the intention, which is making sure that after engaging with students, students are able to appreciate how to answer questions, because it will be a particular aspect that you're looking for. So here, when I'm talking skill, I'm not talking qualification. I'm talking about identifying what is actually required for one to be able to provide a solution to the question at hand. And it might be within certain qualifications, or it might not be. I hope I haven't confused, but try to zero in to say, understand what you are trying to achieve, and see how best to make sure that it happens, and see what is the tool that's required to make it happen. And that tool is the skill that you're looking for and want to pursue it. I'll just quickly hazard as well and say, as you look for skills, it will be good that you are also very candid about it, and not be blurred by qualification. An example doesn't mean that if somebody is for example, a doctor, it means they can do anything. It doesn't follow. But they must have a particular aspect that you're looking for, which helps. Or if you're looking for an engineer, not all engineers have the skill that you're looking for, but you need to really drill down a bit to be sure that they actually can do. And part of it can come from you assessing what they've done before. That's another way of measuring if they have the skill. They have experience that shows that previously they've used that particular skill and achieved results, as an example. I thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope the participant has been answered. Kindly confirm.
Thank you very much. I've benefited. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Another person with a burning question? Yes, go ahead, Mr. Shingi. And then there is a question from Maria Chipanera. I think after Shingi has addressed his question, we'll then read through the question that has been sent in the chat box. Yes, go ahead, Shingi.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Doctor, for such a empowering message. May I also maybe take some time to also say I like the part when you were talking about skills. And also you were talking about it's very important to have necessary skills for certain professions. How do you come up with a strategy that can marry? Is it possible even to venture into a business? Probably it's not your background of learning, but you want to venture into that business. For example, I want to say probably you previously before or did not maybe trained to become a teacher or a pharmacist or whatever. How do you marry between also taking, do you need to have that skill set on your own, and how can you set up that business to implement it and to provide a service to the community? We understand that probably our backgrounds or the way that we are coming up from different backgrounds, but you can enter into another business that is way different from what you've previously studied before. So is it even possible even, or you have to stick to your previous background? Thank you very much.
Over to you, Doc.